All right, the BDS 2.5-inch strut spacer lift. You got the spacers for the top, you got a preload spacer for the spring, and then your hardware. Pretty straightforward. This is the thing that I don't like. Spring compressors. I'll put a full face helmet on when I do it just because, I don't know, I like my teeth and it makes me nervous. If you do it right, you're fine. I've done them like a ton of times, but it's scary. So, the sweet setup here on my angled driveway. Chalk the rear wheels with some blocks of wood. Well, pieces of wood. Jack stands under there. Front wheels are off. And we're gonna get to it. And yes, for this kit, pretty much any level kit, anytime you mess with the suspension, you'll want to get an alignment so you don't shred your big expensive tires. Currently, I have the stock ones. I'm gonna do it with the stock ones, get it aligned with the stock ones, and then bump up to the 35s that I had on the other truck, which are in the shed. It says this kit will fit 35 by 12.5 by 17s with 5.5 inches of back spacing and trimming of the bumper valance, and 33 by 12.5 by 17 with stock 5.5 inches. Back spacing, no trimming required. I'm putting on 35 by 12.5 by 17s with 0 offset, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the crash bars. I'll add this into the video later. Okay, first couple steps. Disconnect the sway bar nut from the driver's side and the passenger side. And then you come to one side and just work on one side, get this done. Go to the other side, get it done, then you'll put that stuff back on. But you want both sway bar ends off, and you save the nut. This is 18, and the little top guy here is 8. So if that starts spinning, which it will, you get a 18mm nut on here, and the top is an 8mm. So you need to hold the top, get that started and off. And then the next is the ABS sensor and the brake line. This is 8mm, this is 10mm. So once I got them off there, this stuff's free. I always thread the bolts back in just so I don't lose them. I mean, I also have a magnetic tray, but when it's easy to just thread them back in there, that's your best bet. Then you take off the little dust cover with some pliers. Get this little guy off here. Try not to wreck it. Just give it a little wiggle. And then we will take this nut off here, the axle nut, and then the steering tie rod nut. That nut was a 13mm, and this steering was a 21. Thread this out, keep it on there, so when you smack this with a hammer, it drops and catches the nut there, so this whole thing doesn't fall out at you. And that one was a 18mm for this guy. So I'll just show you there. It's loose. Bang with this little mini sledge. Should come loose. There she goes. That's loose. Now we'll back this off slowly and then manage this guy. And I have the bottom part supported with the jack. Okay, after that's off, I threaded the nut back on. This falls forward. I pulled it a little bit and I pulled the ABS wire over it just to let it hang here so it's loose here. When it was on the other side of this was pushing on it and it was pretty snug and tight, and I didn't like that. So that's much nicer to manage. And then you just have to remember to put it back over when you put everything back together. Now we got to get the 3 nuts up here on top of the strut assembly, and those are 18mm bolts. And it's good to have a ratcheting 18mm. Once those 3 are out, I have the jack back here. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on this little bar. I'm just holding the lower control arm up. Then you go down to these two. There's one here and one on the other side. 18 millimeter, and that holds the bottom part of the strut assembly on. Assembly is out. Nice little pry bar here. You get underneath the bottom of that and pry it. Pry there, and it pushes the lower control arm down and everything down. I mean, I unhooked this up here as well just to give it more slack. This is pretty tight, the brake line's tight, but she pops out. It's always the hardest part in doing these things, is for me at least, getting the strut assembly out, and then once it's spaced out a little more, getting it back in. It is not fun, but doable. And now I just slid the jack under here to kind of support it so this stuff is loose again. Now we get to do the spring compressor. Strut assembly off, do your alignment marks, just so you line it up right when you put the spacers on. Now we're going to put these suckers on, and we're going to make sure they're spaced evenly. One on this side, one on that side. So, awesome news for me is that my spring compressor that I had and I used on my 2019 with no problems, these coils here on the spring are a lot thicker, so the spring compressor won't fit on there and clamp around it. So I did all this work and now I can't even get them apart. So I bought this from Harbor Freight. I've used it in the past. Let me tell you, it is a pain in the balls to get on there on all four sides. This was a little rusty, so I had to use a 17 millimeter and an 8 millimeter pass through. So stuck this guy on there, stuck this guy on there, and then loosened her up. This thing took me about 15 minutes to get it on the other strut assembly. This time it took me about 4.5 seconds. Don't know why. It's like hit or miss, but it works. Add this spacer in this top cap. Should come right off. There you go. Pull this out. Where's my marker? There it is. Those were lined up until I was wiggling it. So take the rubber out, slide this in, put the rubber back on, turn this metal thing 180 degrees, bolt it all back up. And I told you I was going to wear a helmet. Yeah, some may say you're an idiot, but I don't care. I like my teeth, and that is scary. Spin it 180 degrees so it's exactly on the other side, which will in turn make the new bolt heads in the same position as where the stock ones were. See, two here, one there, stock, two here, one there. This faces the front or the outside of the vehicle. All right, time to get that sucker in there. So we're gonna put the top up in here first, get it through the holes. I'm gonna put like a nut on the end just to kind of hold it loosely in place, and then down here pry down with my pry bar and get those studs up and over. It's a pain, but it can be done. Okay, doing this by yourself sucks pretty bad. There's so many different options that people tell you to get this in. I'll tell you what I did, that what finally worked. The instructions on BDS is just like, put it back in and you're good. But that doesn't work. Watch a couple YouTube videos. Some people bang these studs out. This is for 2016. They bang these studs out, then this slides in there easy, like no problem. Slide them back in there, tighten it up, you're good to go. Mine didn't even budge when I was bashing it, so that wasn't an option. Other people I saw loosen the lower control arms on both sides, which gives this more wiggle room. The problem is these lines here, they're all pretty tight. So I disconnected the brake line up here as well at the top and took this out of the bracket. So then gave me a little bit more play in here. And I have a bungee cord around here because this knuckle wants to fall this way and really pull on the ABS wire, which goes on the other side of this when I'm done, and the vacuum line and the brake line. So after all that talk, what I did was, and what worked, loosen the lower control arm bolts. That gives you a lot more play, and this assembly will drop down really far. You have to be careful though, because it'll drop down too far and it'll really pull on the lines here. So I had the jack under here just to support it a little bit. Loosen the jack, let the assembly drop, keeping this on here, because if this wasn't on here, I'm pretty sure it would have pulled these lines out. And the bungee had just enough flex to really get me, or give me the opportunity to push down on here. Pushed a lot of force down here, held it with my left hand, jacked it with that hand, and it's in. And now I have the nuts on the bottom. It would be a lot easier with two people, and my buddy was gonna come over and help me at noon, but I'm too impatient. And I know that I could get her done. All right, I'm gonna bolt everything back up, and this side will be done. All right, it's in and all bolted up. In the instructions it said to remove this ABS line with like a, I don't know, 10mm hex or whatever, something like that, but there's no way, there's nothing in there to do that with. So this stayed attached the whole time. I just disconnected it. Brake line, ABS line, pulled this out of here, and then brake line here. And that gave me enough play to get this sucker in there. All right, it's leveled. Couple ways to fit 35s with a leveling kit. I have 35x12.5 on 17-inch rims. I think they're like 7.5 inches wide, and they are 0 offset. So the crash bars come into play, obviously, there and back there. Ways to do it: unbolt it, take it out, unbolt, cut the bolt, cut this, take it out. I wouldn't advise taking your crash bars off, but I've done it on other people's trucks that requested it. I'm not a shop or anything. This is backyard mechanic style here. You could take the front bumper off, unbolt it, take this one out, take the other one out, take that one out, take the other one out, swap them. So driver's side to passenger side to driver's side, and the bend, instead of them bending this way, they'll bend that way, so it'll give you more clearance. And the other option is to either buy or rent a porta power, and that's what I did on my 2019. Just put this in between both crash bars, pump it up, and press that one forward, press that one back, and then my crash bars will be intact. This was $50 to rent for the whole day, or $35 for 4 hours, so it's gonna take me about 20 minutes. So we will press these out, through on the 35s. Okay, the reason that I like the BDS leveling kit over other ones is that it comes with the preload spacer. So it spaces the spring out, or preloads the spring, and then also it puts the spacer on top of the strut. So by preloading the spring, supposedly it's, you know, better, increases performance in cornering, as well as it offsets the weight of the larger tires, and it doesn't max out the upper ball joint. basically what it says on their website. I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, I've had BDS suspension on 3 or 4 Jeeps and worked really well. I've had this kit on a 2019 F150, a 2010 F150, and now a 2016 F150 with no issues, and it rides great. It's a little more firm than stock, but feels tight, feels good. Okay, after driving around the truck for a couple days, used the Porta Power to space out the crash bars, leave room for those 35s. It was rubbing on one little spot. There's a little this felt piece right here, so I just cut it and just cut that little tab off right there. That was the only spot it was rubbing. I'll show you how much space there is when we turn the wheel all the way one direction. Just makes it, and then there we have like a 1/4 of an inch, half an inch. And then the other side here in the front. Again, a little bit more than half an inch. So there's enough room. I'm not rubbing or anything, but like I said, in extreme like off-road conditions, you might get some rubbage. But for the most part, good to go. Hopefully that helps you out. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Later.